from the coach.
Coach, some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Foles. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 12. Foles. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the... Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And cuts out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Phillip Lindsay, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. The run on third and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And after the punt, they have a long way to go if they want to tie this football game.
And when you say a long way to go, you mean the full 99 yards backed up almost as far as you can be. And they also have to be aware that the defense is going to come after them. A lot of defense will blitz and attack in this situation, hoping to cause a little bit of havoc.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. This is Fournette. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Defense owned that sequence, kept them right around the goal line.
How about a 3-play sequence where they did exactly as you described? Owned every play, got them backed up. Now they're going to get the football back. Personally, I don't rush the punter here. I play punt safe, let them punt it to me, and give my offense great field position.
Yeah, if you play your cards right, you can be in plus territory pretty quickly here. They knew they were to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They'll cut down when they're that backed up. You've got to be careful going after him.
Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run with Fournette. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going. And really the offensive line not helping him much. And able to find Conley. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Now Foles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic. Let's go.
To try again after the sack. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to...
Watch out.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. Foles caught here by Conley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And shutting him off, now open field. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
He'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down again. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So it was the defense that jumped, and that'll move them 5 yards closer.
Wonder how they did it. What if they twitched a little bit up front, a little subtle head movement that the officials didn't detect, but they got it done. Now they're 5 yards closer for their field goal attempt.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will do it for this first half. So and just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field, and he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On second down, Eckler. A big play there on the option. 57 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
From the gun, Jackson got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year. As a Raven. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. Zooms in for the sack. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll run on first down. Brown. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Throw right side of the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Foles now, 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Fournette. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And Lambo will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. He's going to take Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Foles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, here we go.
Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Broken tackle.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty. You want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Here's Foles. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw again on 2nd down. Foles. He's got the hook up with Conley. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
That's how we do it, baby.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Mike Bennett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Check three, check three, check three. Watch safety. Safety screen.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Calais Campbell on the stop. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Lindsey. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So the defense... It's helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
He's got the hook up to Lee. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He's back to throw. Obviously a big, a crusher there as it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now a toss play to Eckler. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there. Up the first down. first down. Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Ravens, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home